Alright, time for a very late night Pokopia stream. This game has absolutely taken over my life lately. I've been going crazy on it, and I think that I need to start streaming it. I've also been watching a lot more streamers lately, and I think I've got a good idea what I want to be doing here on YouTube. And while I'm going to continue putting out my video essays and such, it's really hard to keep up with those in a timely manner. And I do want to do a lot more streaming. And I've found a couple of streamers that I think are representative of, you know, how I want my streams to go and stuff like that. And so at this point, I'm determined to just start pushing and find my people and hope that this is a good way to get some subscribers. So the name of the stream is pushing Pokopia to its limits, and that's because I have been building one of the biggest and densest Pokopia builds that I have seen, so much so to the point that the frame rate even starts to tank when you're going in and out of some of the more detailed areas of my town. So this is my house, or my house is on the top floor. I consider the whole thing my house. But the way this game works, each floor is kind of its own house or whatever. But I'll just kind of start showing some of that stuff off and see if we can't get a couple of viewers going. And then maybe once we have a few people show up, I'll start pushing towards some of the stuff that I'm planning on building. So this little loft here is like my home base. I've been building very small rooms because I'm going for density on this build. So I've got, you know, chill little spot. I like to come up here and just chill out. I spend a lot of my time playing this game just looking at the spaces that I built. And you can climb up into another loft. This part's not finished yet. The power's not all the way ran and all of that. I think I need to wait until I unlock some better power solutions. I'm not 100% through the game yet because I've been distracted by building. I've got a nice little balcony out here. And I can even sneak up onto the roof, which gives a good view of this giant thing that I've built and I'm continuing to add on to. We'll see parts of that, but that's a gigantic build. I've done all of this off stream, but from here I'm going to be trying to stream major builds, just do busy work, prep work off stream, and then keep the streams nice and interesting. And so today I cleared out this whole area. I moved the Pokemon Center. That's where it actually started out at. I moved it over here. It actually fit perfectly into that space, which was a happy accident. But I worked on paving all that out, even getting roads in there. I built this little Pikachu fountain complex, leveled out the land over here to build a retaining wall that I'm gonna finish up on this stream. So we need to make it meet up with this marble area. And then this bridge. I want to cover this bridge. That might be something we get to tonight, depending on how long we end up going. Let me just check and make sure everything is sounding all right here on my end. Give me 1 second while I turn my monitor on. All right, how's that? Yeah, it sounds like my volume's pretty good and all that. Turn that back to no monitor. You guys should still be able to hear me, and let's keep cruising. All right, so yeah, I want to cover this bridge. I recently unlocked the last area of the game, the Skyland area, and it had these robust flowers. And I guess the way the flowers work on this game is everybody gets like one base color and then one of the variant colors. I believe that the pink one of these Skyland flowers is the base color, and then the blue is the variant that I got. You get the others by going to other people's cloud islands and such. I think there's a very, very low chance for odd colors to spawn on cloud islands, but I may be mistaken on that. But I'm very happy that I got the blue ones to go with these pink ones. It works really well here with these planters on the bridge. And I spent a really stupid amount of time figuring out the best way that the woodwork of the bridge should go together to make sense, like it's all supported. Even figured out that you can like hollow out a block there and make the wood logs come through so it looks like it's anchored into the wall. I need to fix the top of it because the bridge started out 3 wide, so the stairs going up to it here are only 3 wide for this big ass 5 wide bridge. So I need to fix that. This is eventually all going to get leveled here. This game though is amazing, just like a 10 out of 10 game. Caught me totally by surprise. I didn't expect it to be good when I first saw it. Then I started to hear good reviews about it. I was like, oh, maybe it's better than I think. Now I'm playing it and I'm like, oh, holy crap, this might be actually like my favorite game I've ever played in my life. The Pokemon aspects of it are phenomenal, but the building, exploration, crafting aspects of it are above and beyond. Just absolutely nailed it in my opinion. I know that there's other games that do this sort of thing. Dragon Quest Builders, obviously from the same developers, Minecraft, huge inspiration. All of those games though, their systems end up being a bit of a hindrance after a while, whereas this has just been nonstop fun. It's going on 2 weeks now and I probably embarrassingly have cleared 100 hours on it. But I'm not getting any little bit bored of it. Easy to put in long gameplay sessions on this game, which means it'll probably be easy to stream this game. And I have more ideas than when I started with. And now that I'm starting to be able to pull some of them off with how these houses are looking, how the bridge is looking, how this fountain complex is all starting to look, I'm excited, you know? Let's see here. Yeah, stream health looks good. We'll walk over here and look at this area. Did this area finish until I changed some things heavily on this side, which I'll talk about in a second, which means that we're going to need to do a... Is my stream cutting out there? It was weird. It disappeared for a second, but it looks like my stream health is good. Okay. Anyways, there's some changes I need to make to this area. Because originally these houses here didn't have front facades. They were just open like this. But then I decided that it would make sense in a fortress like this that like used to exist maybe from humans or something. Or now the Pokemon live here, or even just humans evolving as a society and building on top of itself and doing infill. It might make sense to build facades on the front of those openings to make them a little more homely. So that's what I'm working on, but that has made this not line up quite right. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Well, I don't know why. Ooh, I'm dropping a shitload of frames here. I have something odd running on my computer. My internet health looks all right. Actually, let me check that real quick. The algorithm is definitely not going to bless me if our stream is not in good shape. Speed test. Download's good. I might have to restart OBS. Upload's good. Now it says my stream health is excellent. Looks like we just had a little blip. Probably my ISP or something stupid like that. I hate technical issues, so it's ready to sit down and have a good late night stream, but computer's doing funky things. It might be my computer. CPU usage seems a little high. I don't have anything running other than I usually do. Well, it looks like things are starting to correct themselves. Okay, I'll keep going. Okay, yeah, so I need to shift this whole entrance and road 1 unit over. But that's not high on my list of priorities, because that's a general headache, breaking into something that you've already built and changing details about it. But we'll get there. There's endless little corners of the town to work on. And usually what I set out to work on is not what I end up working on. Alright, so we're just going to get going to town on the retaining wall. So I need to make a bunch of lined stone tiling. Not 490, but probably like 180 of them. I think I have a bunch of marble stashed because I need marble to make the other end meet up. Yeah. Very good. This is my little unfinished basement storage area. And it's very tiny and cramped, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't tunnel out below the footprint of the house because I wasn't sure what I was going to be doing with the underground area around it, and I don't want to compromise that space for future builds. It works even if the storage is a little tight. Oh, looks like my smelting is done. I think this was Pokemetal, maybe rare Pokemetal. Rare Pokemetal, very good. We'll be able to build some nice things with that. Actually, we're gonna spend it on C-dot lamps because I need multiple of them for this side of the bridge. All right, enough getting distracted though. The game is nightmare for ADHD, but it also tickles all of the right nodes of your brain for ADHD, so double-edged sword there, I guess. All right, so I know this needs to go away. Oh yeah, we should cook so this goes faster. Okay, I use all 3 floors of this house. The bottom is the storage workshop. This is where I come to do my cooking, even though I have the wrong cooking pot here right now. And the upstairs is the chill area. Hold on just a second. My dog is getting into something. I gotta go stop him. Yep. Knock that off, buddy. Sorry. Sometimes he thinks that when I'm streaming, it's a good time for him to misbehave. So upstairs is the chill out area. The main floor is the cooking area, and the downstairs is the storage and workshop. I hope that Wind and Waves is like half as good as this as far as how the Pokemon look and act and are animated. It's the best Pokemon has ever looked or been as far as that. This is why I came over here for this. All right, 6 hamburger steaks should get us through that cliff. I think I do need to restart OBS. My CPU usage just keeps climbing here, and that's the only thing I have open. Stream's gonna disappear for just a second, and we'll hopefully be right back, and hopefully YouTube will see it as one stream. All right, now I think we're back, and I think that the problem was OBS. See if it crashes again. Still extremely higher CPU usage than I usually have when I'm streaming. OBS also just crashed like 3 times in a row on me when I was trying to get back up and going there. I haven't changed anything as far as my settings. There was an update, but I skipped it. So I can't imagine what the issue would be here. Well, it looks like things are starting to normalize now, though. Okay, anyways, I'm not sure if YouTube... Okay, cool. It kept the stream going. That's good. So back to what we were doing, which I believe is coming over here after having cooked to build this retaining wall and make it meet up with the marble fortress. But there's some sort of relic here. I have done a little bit of time skipping here and there, just because of like when I'm moving buildings and stuff like that, it helps. Or I've been building and just like really needed to go grind for a particular resource. And I also wanted to get it past the Hop-Up event. So my system calendar is on like April 4th or something like that right now, but I'm not going crazy with the time skipping in case anybody notices that Hop-Up is gone and is wondering about that. If anybody hasn't played this game and you have a Switch 2, like by all means, like check this game out. It is must own software, and it's that good. It's unbelievable how good this game is. Yeah, the YouTube algorithm is not blessing me tonight if we're at no viewers still, but we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna be playing this anyways, so. Oh, should have eaten the steaks that I cooked. There we go. Come on. I have Graveler, but I feel like he is a little sloppy for this type of stuff. I forgot that that's where the old water source was. I think we can just get rid of that now, though. Yep. All right, limestone flooring, let's go. What is the correct height? Stairs are gonna come up to here. So this will be brick. So one more. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Found this is definitely the easiest way to make walls. I know there's eventually that Magnemite rise and stuff like that, but that's still a bunch of moving around, and you have to make your unit size line up with how you want your wall to be, whereas this, you can just aim the camera straight down, count, and press A. All right, now I think that needs to be marble to look correct. And then that needs to go. One more lined brick tile. Oh, two more. And then we put our modern wall bricks across the top. Which, cool, yeah, I still have 44 of those. All right, let's see if that meets up how we want it to. good from this side. Yep, I think that's right. I think pretty much I can just put a line of marble here. And then I just need to make that little section marble. We're pretty much there. In my head, I kept pushing this part of this off because I was like, oh, this is going to be tricky to make it meet up and look right, but I don't think it is. That... We'll see if that needs to be marble or if this needs to be the retaining wall. There's compelling reasons to go with each as far as how these buildings would meet up with each other, but it's really going to come down to what looks right. I do want to make some build videos for this game too. I might make a different channel for that. It kind of just depends though. Depends how my current subscribers react to some content about this game, how the live streams go. I do think I'm going to be live streaming mostly from this channel though, because I do want the live stream to act as a funnel for subscribers to my video essay content, which I did recently put one up about Pokemon, and specifically why I love Legends Arceus. And although I had fun with Scarlet and Violet and have some issues with Legends ZA, Legends Arceus has some specific reasons that it's a really good game. Specifically the gameplay loop and how that's crafted and how everything leads into itself, which is something this game does well too. So if you're interested in that, definitely, you know, I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel, but at the very least just clicked over and gave that video a watch. It's about 28 minutes long, and between playing the games, scripting, filming, and editing that video, it was probably about a 100-hour project, and this kind of stalled out on the algorithm. So I'm hoping kind of there, maybe streaming some Pokemon, we'll get some Pokemon viewers on that content. But with the video essays, my hope is to have, you know, some evergreen content there on the channel. And we'll do fun things with the live streams, current things with the live streams, keep up with trendy games and such. But then hopefully, you know, I'll be able to rack up some views over time on that long form content. Anyway, it's enough rambling. We're getting close to finishing up our initial attempt at closing these walls up. I should probably just build some sort of scaffolding over to reach that. All right. I really need to get in the habit of when I build using the handy bag. This, like, you can put a certain number of items in there and then lock it, and then move between items like that. And you know what? I'm going to get in the habit of that right now. And we're using for this build. How do I remove something from there? Okay. Looks like it's Y. Now let's put our limestone flooring, our modern wall, and our marble down there. Okay. Yeah, that's helpful. Ah, damn it. One thing that sucks with Rock Smash is when you have it powered up, it only takes like one punch to break a lot of materials, which is helpful when you're trying to break materials. But it leads to accidentally destroying a lot of materials too. Hold on a second. All right, sorry, I got a message on a Discord server. I accidentally broke a rule. It's not a big deal. It was a legitimate accident. Just apologizing for it. They were cool about it. All right. Now we can go back over to our viewing spot. Oh shit. If you don't have that flying ability yet, and it's a spoiler for you, I apologize, but it's too useful not to use. I think that looks right. I think that's correct, except we might top that marble off with our modern wall. Well, that was stupid. All right, now we're back up there. I just want to take off one layer of marble here. Okay, yeah, this is the first time I really used that bag, and that's nice. Okay, you gotta press ZL to pull it out. Alright, let's see if that has the look that we want now. I don't have marble topped with modern wall anywhere else, but this is also the only place so far that the marble structure is meeting up with our modern wall structure. I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think that's the ticket. And then here, go just marble up to even with it. So the staircase here is actually the end of this structure, so I need to make it look finished. Oh my god. I don't have a way out of here except to fast travel. I apologize for that. I need to fill in that hole because I fall in here like 3 times a day. All right. Let's see if I can land on it. Hell yeah. Alright, those will be stairs. So this needs to probably just come even with that, which I think is 2 units higher than we are now. Yeah, 1 more unit. Oh yeah, I grabbed a grate to finish that down there. Think I have it in my bag? Oh no. think we can just put that right back here, and it will hopefully still connect in both the same spots. Yes. All right, I think just marble across here. This needs to be marble. That's gonna be covered, so that's as far down as we need to go. And modern wall. Stairs go here. Alright, I think that is correct. Yeah, so this is cool. I put a little bit of built-in context into what I had going on here. So I knew I needed stairs to come over both of this water, but then also this sort of tunnel section here is where the trains are gonna go. And so we needed to wrap around that to get over here, but then also stairs up to the top. And it left this awkward negative space right here. I was like, what am I gonna do with that, you know? But then I knew that water was gonna come out of this side for the water wheel that was there. And there was already water coming out roughly here. I was like, you know, I'm gonna contextualize this. And so it's like a little reservoir, maybe a spring bubbles up out of the mountain or something, and they catch it here, and then that feeds the water wheel and the whole Pikachu fountain structure. Kind of nerdy, but it makes sense in my head, and it's little touches like that of extra context and details to the world that I think really makes for a cool build. But yeah, I do have a grate to finish this off. Awesome. We need to get or make some stairs. Oh, but I brought that up because I think I want to bring this up higher. And then do we leave that open on that side, or do I maybe want to just like make that whole thing super tall, fill it all the way up with water, and put the grate back over it? I think that would be cooler. Honestly, I think that would be cooler. And I think that this will have a better look to it if this is all tall. And I'm gonna grab these grates before I have to jump all the way back down in there to get them. I think I should only have to spit water into the top, and it should just fall down here. The water doesn't actually flow through from here. It's all just kind of faked. So this is totally contained. So I don't, you know, famous last words, knock on wood, but I don't think we'll have any problems just doing this and raising the water level real quick. You know, this game makes me kind of feel like a crazy person though, because I sit here and spend, you know, at times like 8 hours on one tiny corner of this build. But that's the cool thing about it, is that there's enough here that I can see playing it for years, and as long as the game cooperates and there's not some ultimate build limit that you run into, which I'm sure there is, but it's a question of, you know, how obtainable is it? You know, I think that you could spend this level of detail on it and play it for a long time and end up with something very cool in the end. So that's what we're gonna see. Went one too high there. Hopefully now that the connection's working better and we've been streaming for a little bit longer here, the algorithm will start to bless us a bit and bring us some viewers tonight. I'm gonna be going for at least a little while though. My sleep schedule is kind of messed up right now. My wife is also dog sitting for her mom this weekend. So I've pretty much got no rules, no schedule or anything right now to keep me from just doing something stupid like streaming Pokopia until 4 in the morning. All right, now we need to bring some water up there somehow. I think if I go up the stairs, that gets us there. I do wonder about the ultimate build limit though, because like I said, the frame rate has started to take a hit in certain areas of this town. And in general, I think it's long given up on 60 anywhere at all with what I'm doing. But that's what I do with games like this that just let you build and go crazy. I built so much on Fallout 4 that it kind of busted my Xbox. Water physics are really, really silly on this game. I gotta build some sort of scaffolding or something here to get out to those empty spots and fill them in. We gotta go back down and get more water. Because if I suck that water up, it will just go away. But this water is being filled by a source. There's so many little tiny quirks of the building in this game and little hacks that you can get away with, and little things that seem finicky or broken at first, but then once you learn the game's rules, you can make them work to your advantage. And I really kind of love games like that. When I get bored of building, I can just like vibe out and do some quests for Pokemon and get more Pokemon to come to the town and just interact with the whole Pokemon side of things. This is almost like several different games all in one, and I can just kind of interact with it depending on what I'm in the mood for, and that's why it's been no problem to play this game for 10, 12 hours straight at points. Eventually I'll stop doing that, both because I need to, and I'm sure some of the newness will wear off, but I think this game has legs. I'm in it for the long haul to finish this build and make something special. The whole marble structure, which I'll get into more later in the stream because this is whole own deal, that was the first big thing I made, and it's really cool. But the first several times I tried making houses, they just turned out looking like ugly, boxy messes. And I was seeing everybody on Instagram and stuff posting just these beautiful, beautiful, cozy-looking cottages and stuff. And I was like, man, I gotta figure out how to do that. And so 3 or 4 days ago, my house here, I just spent an absurdly long time playing with all the different pieces and different ways to configure it together, and I figured out so much about the building from constructing this house. Anyways, I'm getting myself distracted, as is often the case with this game. We were over here to put the grate back on top of this. Oh, those have an orientation, don't they? They do. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. Sorry, that would have really bothered me if I noticed that later. this is what I had moved on to, was breaking this down to fill it in with grass. Guess when I'm doing this stuff, I should probably pin the food too. Starting to use my brain more. Oops. I also spent the last couple of days breaking down a bunch of the early stuff I built, because as I built cooler and cooler stuff, the early stuff looked out of place and was just taking up valuable space and contributing to the frame rate issue without being worth it. Still runs perfect when you're away from everything, but like if I get someplace where you can even see the kind of like pop in and stuff like that happening, especially if I move the camera, we're not very good there, but it's still working. I'm nervous though about how it's gonna run once we build that density through here, what it's gonna be like. But even the frame rate only really drops when you're like running around and stuff. So you can still just go like nice and slow and get some nice vibey shots running through this really densely decorated stuff. Especially when you're in close and the camera doesn't have to render so terribly much. But for sure, this is one thing I've started noticing, is that when and only when you build up to this level of density where you have like hundreds of different assets being loaded at once on your build and something placed in literally every square of the build, that like if you get it all onto the camera at once and you're running into town, it just gets a little weird. But honestly, it's impressive that it lets you do all that at all, you know? It needs to be a little taller. I don't think it needs to be as tall, but it needs to at least go up to that, right? Oh, that was all over marble. I'm very curious about how many of the CDs are in this game. I found a handful, and it seems like there's more retro ones than like more modern ones. I say modern, I mean like DS onward. They're all kind of retro. But the newer ones have multiple arrangements, and they're generally higher quality, whereas the retro ones just sound like they're coming from a Game Boy. But basically, I want to find more of those CDs, and I'm very curious about, in total, how many are in the game. I think the highest numbered one I have found is 20-something, which worries me that it's not actually all that many. But I also wonder if that couldn't be something that they flesh out in future DLCs, events, things like that. I would love it if this game eventually did get DLC, you know, got more items and stuff added in, similar to how Animal Crossing did over the years. But this is also bigger and better than Animal Crossing after all of its updates out of the box. So can't get, you know, beggars can't be choosers here. But I'm just saying, if we do get DLC in the future, I would love more music, more decorative items, another area. You don't need to reinvent the wheel here. This gameplay loop is so good. You could just let us do it 4 more times through like 4 more waves of a expansion pass. That'd be perfect. Just add, you you know, 50 new Pokemon each time. Might be stretching it, but that would also be wild to think about, is that this game, let's say they do that. Let's say they add 50 Pokemon at a time for 4 waves of DLC through the life of this game, hypothetically. And they start with 300 Pokemon. That'll give them up to 500 Pokemon in this game that would all be animated better than Pokemon have ever been animated in a game. All have unique animations, behaviors, characteristics. I think that would be like the largest, at that point, national dex in any Pokemon game, which is kind of crazy to think about, that this game could be that if it gets good support. And given how it's selling so far, and I think it'll continue to sell, it makes a lot of sense to me that could be the case. Still have no clue what's going to go up here on top of this hill, or how that wall is going to go into it, but I do know that I at least want to get this part that we've been working on to a little more finished state here. And that'll all probably be... Yeah, this is too much to think about right now, because that all needs to get up to this level. Probably needs stairs from down here at this level, but no, I think I get it. I'll just make a set of stairs that comes up that way, perhaps. Maybe just across there. I don't know. This is a problem for another time. We haven't met up what we were trying to meet up. Even that power line there, I think I'll worry about. No, I'm gonna fix it. I think I can just go in the same spot. It should still connect. Perfect. And just throw a block underneath this one. There we go. I think that makes sense. Excuse me. Question is, do I want to, like... Yeah, I think I do. Just want to go up with, like... Yeah, I think I want to enclose this and do, like, a pillars sort of deal to make it more like a gateway. Maybe put a roof around it, and then just leave like a doorway here to get into the reservoir for maintenance. Yeah. Also, this here, I guess we'll get into what this marble structure all has to it and what it needs to get finished. So this little corner needs to all get chiseled out, and the building isn't quite fully built behind it there, because it needs to make a bridge across to here, as well as make stairs down to this level, as well as connect into an existing hallway in the marble structure. So I'll kind of show you what I mean there. Right now there's 2 staircases into this thing, but there needs to be at least 3. At least the 3 main corners that you do business on need to have staircases. So that staircase, all good. And now we can walk along the top up here. This is gonna be a farm area. I'm not keeping that house. I'm actually gonna go no prefab houses on this build. Oops. Then over here is the second staircase. This corner is also important. And that brings us out into this area, which has like this little stage courtyard area, another giant waterfall. Let's see what we got in the water here. Lepa berries. All right, so we've got the waterfall and the stage in this courtyard. Opposite of that is the houses built into the walls of the fortress. I mentioned earlier that we need to modify that gateway because it's getting blocked a little bit. We need to just shift it over 1 unit, which there's exactly enough room for. But then over here is the start of the train station. We're gonna have three different routes to get to the different gates. And then this might actually get made into part of where the trains pull into as well. But for now, they just go into this tunnel, and that's what, where's that water fucking coming from? Okay, I'll figure that out. But that's what the bridge we were working on goes over. I see, that's where water is coming out from my fountain. I think it's a little lame in here, but this is just for the train. So I think we just gotta put a patch. Okay, losing my train of thought here, but also this is a lot to explain. Up here will be part of like the waiting area for the train station. Right now it's serving as Pokemon housing, just to keep Pokemon out of the way, but I'll get rid of that ledge and it'll just be kind of open faced with the train station below it, facing those houses and everything. This is also a house and it's gonna stay a house, kind of a neat one. I'll show that last. Then the tunnel here goes all the way around. I don't think we need stairs on this corner just because that's like basically the edge of the map. But this is also serving currently as Pokemon housing, but is gonna get made into a restaurant overlooking this whole courtyard. Like a little tavern area, should be neat. That'll be mostly about decorating though, because the build is already there. But then this tunnel section goes all the way across, right? And this area here is kind of the corner of that cliff we were looking at. And so you can come out here and you're overlooking that area. And so the stairs could come out here to get down there. And then you could come around here. You're also looking over that area. That could be where the stairs go to get down. But then I think we need to tunnel straight through here, or one of those needs to be the stairs to get down, and then one of those needs to be the bridge to get across to the gate over there. So that needs to be sort of like a spiraling, wrapping sort of deal that nestles into the existing architecture and replaces that cliff face. But to do that, we need a whole bunch more marble. And that's not high on my list of priorities, because that mostly affects the view of things from the other side of that. And right now we're working over here. Trying to think what I should do next. I need to make some logs and fill that in to make it match the other side on the bridge. Then I guess maybe we can think about how to cover the bridge. See, I've got a couple of viewers at the moment. Have you guys played this game? Or are you guys planning on playing this game? All right, to cover the bridge, need to craft. We might use walkway for it. Make a few of those to bring with. We will definitely be using wooden enclosures. Wooden partitions could be interesting. I'll bring a couple just to test out what it looks like. We'll decide on a roof structure once we've got kind of the rest of it. And then wooden posts is something else to play with. Wooden posts, and we'll bring a couple more vertical logs, and we'll try some things out and see what looks good for covering the bridge. Dripping coffee all over the outside of my mug. That's kind of gross. All right. I went there to get horizontal logs and did everything but. We also might have enough rare Pokemetal now to put the C-Dot lamps on the other side of the bridge. This bridge might be what we end up focusing on for a lot of this stream here. Okay, I think to make this work, we need to move the power down to these. There's something in the way of the electrical wires. That doesn't look to be the case. What are you talking about? I think it should fix itself once I move the other pole down, maybe. Yep, okay. Now those posts that the power poles were on should be where we can start to build the supports for our bridge cover. Let's put that back. Actually, let's pull all the fences off first because... Oops. We don't know how much of a covered bridge we're gonna do. Are we just gonna do the 4 corner posts and the middle posts? Or are we gonna have it entirely enclosed and then do some windows? There's lots of options on how we can do this. This is how I ended up building too, is I go into it with a rough plan of what I am going to build, you know? But then as far as the specifics of it, it's a lot of playing around with the pieces. Just seeing what looks good, you know? All right, let's start with wooden enclosure stacked up for the frames and see how that looks. This might be a really simple one, like wooden enclosure and tent roof might accomplish what we're looking for. It's because the bottom section of the bridge is busy and looks good, but we don't want to just create, I think, a giant destructive wall. We want to maintain the sight line through, especially since that looks out towards the harbor area. That is going to be its own whole separate build that's going to be as dense as everything we're doing over here. But my goal here is to just decorate literally every corner of the starting wasteland area as densely decorated and constructed as possible, and basically see at what point the game taps out. Yeah, that's where this should go. I was wondering if maybe it should go back one space, but I think that should be good. The question is what should go across the top, right? I want to see what this looks like. I was thinking about playing with these. Actually, this might not be... This could be interesting. Or it could be really stupid. Oh, come on now. No, I think I may be onto something here. So I have my vine decorations. I think that might be the design, y'all, and that might be really simple. Just wooden partitions alternating with wooden enclosures. Put the walkways on top. And then decorate them with vines. And that honestly looks kind of neat. Yeah, very happy with that. All right, so we need to rock out some wooden enclosures. Or not wooden enclosures, we have plenty of those. We need the wooden screens. It's probably gonna be something like 16 of them. Which, that better be enough because that was how many we could make. Oh, well, I just need to have somebody chop lumber. I've got plenty of logs. Just need to have Scyther process it down. Alright, where are those partitions? There we go. Oh, beautiful. It even fits with the spacing. Now, oh. How does it look with those instead of... No, it looks better with the enclosure instead of the posts. It's worth checking out, though. This actually goes together really easy, too. One of the less finicky builds, and it's gonna look really cool, I think. Now we go back to our walkways. Make sure that they're all facing the right way. Yeah, make it face the opposite direction of the walkway underneath, but also because I think that it's gonna look better with one solid beam of lumber from the profile view. Go in the right spot now. Awesome. I think we can walk up. We're lucky we can walk across our planters there to hang the vines. Keep the process on the other side, and I think we have our covered bridge. And then we gotta put walkways across the top to cover it. Don't fall, okay. Vine wall decoration. Come on. Yep. Now we should just be able to walk across the line. This game for me is an awful lot of falling and walking back around to where I was at. And yes, I know that there is an ability later that solves a lot of this, but I like doing this too. I feel like you learn a little bit more about your build when you have to do it this way. You know what? I'm just gonna do this. All right. Why? You're set up exactly the same. Weird. think they were backwards somehow. All right, now we just do the same thing on the other side. Those don't need to be 3 high, we figured out, only 2. Oh, left the fence up. Feel free to let me know in the chat if I'm ever mumbling. I'm so bad sometimes about once I've been going for a while, my voice drops. I'm normally not a quiet person, and I know especially when I'm streaming that I need to not be a quiet person. But I get into this vibey, cozy game and focused on what I'm doing, and all of a sudden I realize, wait a second, I'm talking kind of quiet. So don't ever feel bad in the chat to just be like, hey bro, you're mumbling again. In general, feel free to say hi in the chat. I mean, I'm streaming because, you know, I like playing games, and I think that this is gonna help grow my audience, but also because like I want to find a community through doing this. You know, I'm a talkative person, and I want to find like-minded people to just bullshit with night in, night out, and just, you know, make a fun little community playing a variety of games. That would be really nice. You know, I like what I see with other streamers, and I really would like to build that for myself. Are we really a wooden enclosure short? No, we ran out of walkway, not wooden enclosure. That's fine. This side doesn't have those damn power lines to worry about. But this bridge also works really well to hide the power lines. I know that eventually there's wireless power, and I will use that a bit to get some power to some trickier places. But I do like the design constraint of needing to use the power lines. It makes you have to think about how you would fit those into the build. There we go. I also like that there's options, you know, if you want to do a futuristic city build in this game, you can do that. Have your elevators, your wireless power, and asphalt everywhere, and modern looking buildings. Or you can do like a cottagecore sort of thing, or I've seen people making like tree forts. Like, there's so many different aesthetics that this game supports, and you can mix and match them. They just built a really, really nice little building toolkit here that you can do so many different things with. I've seen so many creative things too. You know, I'm proud of some of what I've been able to do, but there's people that have blown what I do out of the water just as far as like the creativity of it. Let me see if I have any bridge planks made up, or if I'm gonna need to have someone chop wood. Only 11. What's my favorite Pokemon? I really like Greavard and his evolution that I always forget the name of, but that's because I like him when he's unevolved. But just the idea of yeah, I saw the Polly Pocket build too. That was insanely creative, and not the type of thing I'd ever come up with. As far as favorite Pokemon, I like Greavard because there's the idea of a dog. It's so loyal that it comes back to be with its owner. It's just awesome. How can you be mad at that, you know? Perfect Pokemon. And he looks like my old Shih Tzu that passed away. And I own 4 dogs, 5 dogs. I'm a big dog lover. Couldn't not be Houndstone. That's the evolution. Houndstone is cool too, and he is a straight up bruiser in the games. That move that he has based on how many other Pokemon have fainted is just nuts. Like, you cue that up and he'll wreck through your opponent's whole stuff. But But yeah, that's my favorite Pokemon is Greavard. Alright, I'm trying to think about what the best way to get up there to lay these bridge planks is going to be. Probably just to make some temporary scaffolding here. Have you been playing this game at all, King? Or do you plan on playing it? Alright, we do need to have Scyther chop some lumber. Do I have logs on me? No, but he also may have already been chopping. Yeah, I need to finish off the story, but I keep getting distracted by building. I kind of push the story forward whenever I need to do so to do something that I'm trying to build. But I also like that I've been able to savor a bit of the story. I mean, I know what happens and everything, but still, just it's nice to have different parts of the gameplay left for me to dip out to when I get tired of just the in-depth builds. Tired of isn't even the right word, because I will never get tired of building things in games. But sometimes you just need to change the pace. I need to be more consistent about streaming though. I have a lot of fun when I do it, but then I don't do it consistent enough and I always end up losing the audience that I do start to build. But recently my circumstances in life have changed a fair bit and now I'm pretty much giving this a shot full time for a while, content creation. I've at least got, you know, a handful of weeks or months I can throw at this to see how it goes before I need to figure out what my real next move would be. But it would be cool if streaming could take off. Before that, I ran my own business, an aquarium, saltwater aquarium store for 5 years. But when the economy started to tank, couldn't keep it going. This is one of the first things people stop spending money on is luxury stuff like that. But now it's time for life's next chapter, which hopefully can be this streaming thing. Oops. Pufferfish are cool. They're a little tricky, just because they eat a lot. Like they don't eat the same, just like frozen food or fish food as everything else. You gotta like keep going to the like grocery store to pick up like fresh seafood for them and keep it varied too, because if you feed them the same thing all the time, they get sick. But they are very cool. Some of the coolest tanks I've seen have had like big inquisitive pufferfish on them, in them. But I'm more into the coral side of it than the fish side myself, but the fish are awesome too. It's one reason I'm super excited for Winds and Waves though, is like going underwater, and also it's based in like Indonesia, that sort of area, which is like Coral Triangle, where most of the coral in the world comes from. You know, my hopes are that maybe we get some much more interesting water Pokemon that cover the breadth of what exists in the ocean. Do I want to climb back up there? I do, just because that's easier for laying it down. No, I agree. Like, my biggest hope before the Winds and Waves trailer was that like graphically speaking, I was like, if we can get anything close to new Pokemon Snap, which I know is a tall ask for an actual full game and not just something that's on rails, but with the power of the Switch 2, if we could get something close to new Pokemon Snap visuals, that would be everything I wanted and more from a Pokemon game visually. And from the trailer, that looks exactly like what we are getting here. Yeah, it depends how a game does underwater. Some games can definitely be claustrophobic with their underwater sections, but you know, it just depends. You've got your Sonic the Hedgehogs of the world where like being underwater is terror-inducing. Then you can also load up like a Endless Ocean or something on the Wii, and I guess unless you have like an actual ocean phobia, that's just a chill time. I need to just count how many of things I need when I'm building so I don't have to keep coming back and crafting things. That's also something that comes with streaming, is that like only half pay attention to what you're doing, and you also gotta other half pay attention to the streaming aspect of it. So I'll probably do some absent-minded things here and there. Yeah, the music of the underwater in Sonic when you're drowning is just like, I think that like if you're of a certain age and you played that game when it was, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but like if you played that game when it was new at all, like you probably have legitimate PTSD from the drowning music. All right, now we finished hanging our vines. If it'll cooperate. So finicky sometimes for no reason. There we go. Sometimes the game tells you no, and if you just like try it again from different angles, it'll tell you yes. And sometimes it'll even tell you yes on things you're not supposed to do, and it'll let you like break collision on items and stuff like that. Should we put those there, or is that too much? No, we should put those there. I think it can't because it's touching that one. I've seen that Magnemite ability on here, and I don't want to get spoiled by it. Like I said, I have fun building this way, but I can see the benefits of it for sure. Favorite biome? I think this one, the Skylands and the sea, I have some pretty cool plans for. The mines was cool for like exploring and from like a story perspective, but as far as like actually building there, I'm like the whole map is mostly covered by the volcano, you know. I mean, maybe if I did some massive like terrain altering stuff, I might be able to do something over there, but no, I like this one. I think that this has the most opportunities for building and the most different ways to interpret it. You know, you've got the pre-made sections of town. You've got, you know, it kind of leads you along, but also is very ripe for doing things like knocking out the cliffside and opening up the main area. All right, so I do actually really like what I came up with on that bridge there. And now to finish it off, I need to see if I have enough rare Pokemetals to get 3 more C-dot lamps to hang on the other side. None there. 15, that's, I think, exactly enough. That's my old house that's in the process of being decommissioned, but it still has some things in it. The first several things I tried to build in this game just looked like straight up ugly square boxes. But recently, like the last week or so, I finally figured out kind of how this game works. And that's why we're going crazy with this build. I'll show off some stuff that it's kind of tucked into the corner here. So I really like what I did with this root stand, berry stand. I was able to make a whole bunch of these berry baskets and stack them up, and then I love playing with the different wood pieces in this game. Just finding ways to stack up and make them look like they structurally make sense. Then I put all those berry lamps across the top. Then over here, this I sat and messed around with for like an hour. Longer than an hour. Why'd I say an hour? It was like 6 hours getting this just right. It was most of a day the other day. But this windmill fountain area that I figured out you can put the surface lights on. In fact, we'll do a little time skipping real quick so that we can look at everything with the lights on. It's nighttime anyways, but I should fix the time closer to what it actually is. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll make it actual time. Not the right date, but actual time. Yeah, and you don't have to save the game or exit to change the time or anything if you didn't know. Why are those not lit up? We lost connection on our power somehow. Oh, I see. That one didn't connect right. There we go. Hey, now we have power. What portion has taken me the longest? Each of these houses were like a full 10-hour build, but the giant marble fortress thing was like 5 days of just doing that. But I was also learning how to build at that point and how to actually like make a 3D structure with interiors that make sense. I think I could probably build that thing a lot faster now. But yeah, the surface lights in the water is something I figured out and it's very cool. Then the berry lamps across here. It's a little extra, but it's cool. Oh, now that it's nighttime, we can go up into the loft area of my house with all the cool lights and shit up there. The power only reaches halfway across it, which is frustrating. All right, yeah, we got the Raichu sign and all of these gamer lights, which should look cool when they're lit up. Then stole these out of the Pokemon Center and put them over here. The wall-mounted TV. Yeah, using bridge planks to make a little loft is a pretty sweet hack. Let's see here. I'll turn these on. Also, posters don't have collision. So normally you can't put anything right underneath a bridge plank, but posters you can. So that's good to know. Oops. Yeah, I'm not sure what all is gonna go through here. I know I want to build like a big community center kitchen sort of deal with like table settings and maybe multiple stalls for vendors. Oh, this is fun here. It's not set up right now because I had to make a stupid habitat out of it, but let me put it all back together. This is like a little toy store. Oh, and I was going to get the seed out lamps. I got so far off track, but also I don't know where I left my Clefairy doll. Alright, yeah, I need to get some more lights and stuff in here. But the general idea is a toy store. So we've got the Raichu sign and all the Pokemon plushes back here and like the neon floor. I put that together before I got Smear Guru and figured out that you could paint the awnings and put different patterns on them. So I want to figure out a different pattern for him. Yeah, I've got tons of all the different dolls, except for only one Clefairy. And I think I set it down in the Skylands to upgrade somebody's environmental level real quick. All right, yeah, let's go print those C-dot lamps and hang them on the other side of the bridge so that that build can actually be done. Did I print them? I may have already printed them, but then got sidetracked. Let's see. I did print them. We need to go hang them. Hey, 2 viewers now, starting to pick up steam. I also need to light up this area more in general, but that's like kind of final detail level stuff. Perfect. Come on. You can hang the other ones just fine. No, that's the wrong spot. I should just go up there and do it. Come on, pick it up. There we go. Awesome. I forget if surface lights take regular Pokemetal or rare. If it takes regular Pokemetal, we might be making a bunch of surface lights and sticking them. Oh, you can't put them on the underside bridge planks. That's right. It's frustrating. You should be able to stick them under bridge planks, but unfortunately, no. Four Pokemetal apiece. I don't know, that's a lot to just play around with how it looks. Do I have any more sitting in my storage? I don't know, I've been 3D printing a lot of stuff, so I probably am just straight up low on Pokemetal right now. Well, there's another 23. We've got 46. I could print a couple to play around with it and see if there's any place worth putting them. I just need to go mine Pokemetal again. Like, you can go down under the couple layers deep in the Dream Islands and find just like hundreds and hundreds of it rolling around as Graveler. It's just a matter of going to do it. Yeah, I'll take a pop art lamp, Monster. You can have 99 cliffs. Oh, you don't even need 99 cliffs. Wow. Figured that would be more expensive. All right, take that back. You can have 20 cliffs. That's so silly, just trading absolutely useless nonsense. No, that's too expensive. Yeah, they want like 2,000 a piece for that, and you can just roll around as Graveler and find it. Let's make 4. Yeah, I appreciate keeping the you keeping the chat spoiler free. I don't care. I'm not a big like person that's sensitive to spoilers. Like I know everything that exists in this game that I haven't done, except for like specific items I don't want to spoil for myself because I like the surprise. But yeah, definitely for like other viewers and stuff like that. Thanks for not spoiling stuff like that. But yeah, I imagine I too will be going to the Dream Islands an awful lot post game. All right, surface lights. Yeah, they can't go there. They should be able to, but they can't, which is frustrating. Can they go? I'll bet they can go here. No. But they can go on top of bridge planks. Well, that's interesting, actually. Hold on. Yeah, that's the ticket. Should it just be on the entrances, or should they maybe lined up with every other enclosure? So that'd be 1, skip, 2, skip, 3. We need 3 more of those per side, so we need 6 in total. That's like all the Pokemetal, but screw it. This is what we're building. I just wing it. I've got like very, very, very rough plans sometimes, but like, I mean, you're seeing my thought process here. I was like, I want to cover that bridge, and from here we're just like going in and covering the bridge, and then finding just ways to detail. I play a lot, not recently, but I played an awful lot, like hundreds of hours of City Skylines 1. And my big thing on that game that I got a decent audience for was just like massive amounts of detailing with the vanilla game assets. And so that's kind of the skill set that I'm able to bring over to this once I figured out how the building and stuff works. I'm very, very happy with how this bridge has turned out, though. Like the structural part of it makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we were going every other of the skinny ones. So that'd be there, 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 and then turn around and do it again. Tiny detail, but that makes it. Did we hang the vines on the other side? We didn't. Well, the camera doesn't really like me running through that, but that's fine. Now, hold on. It is letting me do it there. So what was the problem on the other side? Don't know what the problem was. Come on. Alright, I think that's it. I need to like make the steps connect better, but I need to figure out how these stairs are gonna go eventually too. This is like a graveyard I built a long time ago, and it doesn't look bad. I think I can do a better graveyard now. So this is gonna be still where the graveyard is, like, location-wise, but that'll be its own big build. I want to build like some like mausoleums and like really find a good way to decorate it with like I wanted to dig up some dry dead trees with the rototiller off of the Dream Islands and bring them back here and stick them in the ground and then hopefully never accidentally water them. Yeah, it's a very tiny section of map that I have like completed detailing. I'm super, super happy with the density. This, I'm not sure about. The roof, the tent roof on this. I think I just need to dye it. I think I want to dye it black, and black paint is hard to come by. This is like my little smithing, forging area. And I did that to be like a chimney for the fire, just because you wouldn't have a fire under a tent, I guess. And then the fountain comes over here, and this would be like if they were doing some forging or something, like their quenching area. And then I put like a pulley with the rope for like maybe if they were working with something really heavy and they had to like quench it. Trying to think what I should work on next, or maybe I should pop off to one of the different biomes and see what's going on there, and maybe try and push environmental level to get some more unlocks. Happy with the bridge though. Very happy with the bridge. Although now I feel like it might need some sort of way to hook into the... Like, it needs to be one more block further over. But that might be as simple as just hanging more bridge planks off of it. There might be some sort of roof piece that works well for that, too. I was hoping I could get up there. That's right, this is my way up. That might be the ticket. What about this? Oop. No, come on. That is my one small UI complaint about this game, is that it's never clear what you're telling the character to pick up. And so you grab the wrong thing all the time. Where did it go? Oh, there we go. A little weird. Not sure about this at all. I know I can paint those. I think the orange is a little garish, but if we can get rid of that with something, maybe even just more green, just green, white, green. I don't necessarily hate the look of that. I'm gonna leave it just as a test to see if it grows on me. No, I don't like it. It didn't grow on me. All right, so those are coming down. Wait a second. Wait a second. I have an idea. Oops. Depends how the collision works on what I'm thinking about. Come on, just go in place. Okay, get that stupid thing gone. Alright, think. No, I need to use a brick to get it in place. And then... Come on. Aim at it. Oh, it needs to be soft block, maybe. If this doesn't work, I'm sorry for wasting time here, but I really have a plan here. Okay. That. And. That. No, not that. Come on. Okay, and then carefully punch that. No. That's right, it has to be... No. It has to be attached firmly to a block at least. Damn. It'd be cool if we could get vines hanging off of a bridge plank, but I don't think there's a way to do it. Am I overthinking it? Oh, I'm probably overthinking it. Leave that gap there because that's just a post. Yeah, that's the ticket. And do I need to bring that all out forward, or will that look all right like that? Is the question. And that I know will be a collision issue. You can't go around an inside corner with vines, I've figured out. Yeah. But I think you can go around an outside corner. Yep. All right, one more plank. post under it. Might actually like recreate this one for a build video on its own. I think that would probably, it looks good for a thumbnail. And I imagine it would be a pretty simple video to recreate, do it more time-lapse style. I like the gap there from the side view, but it looks a little odd from the front view. It might make more sense if we come out one more. I think that just all needs to come out one more unit, but I do like that. Question is, how repeatable is it over here? We're shorter over here, and we also have this guy's yard to worry about. Pull the stupid flag off. No, flag. Thank you. That should do the trick. I don't know if it was my game or yours. I have long ago started tuning out the bird noise. It is mine. He's over there. Oh, come on, that's not. I just need to get up on top. That's always the easiest way to do things. But yeah, I think that one thing I'm gonna do is maybe use my pallet town to recreate some of my builds here, some of the smaller ones that can be a little more modular and fit into people's villages, like this bridge or my windmill fountain, and make those into build videos. I think that'd be some good evergreen content for, maybe not for this channel, just because I post video essays about all kinds of games, and that might mess up the algorithm. But I might make a secondary channel just for Pokopia builds. Okay, that's awesome. Actually, when I first started building this bridge earlier, I had plans of it just pretty much being like 2 planks wide and like just barely supported on the sides, and like really keeping this sight line open. But then I just got going and going and going on it. But I think what we came up with here is actually pretty neat. I think I am going to go ahead and advance the clock one more time just to look at it during the day, and then that'll also give us some new stuff to do here on stream. It's a little late, I think, for me to get going on a whole other build, but we can like probably do a dream island and check our stores and stuff like that. What am I doing? Date and time. Jeez, time just disappears playing this game. I have been streaming for a while here already. I feel like I just sat down and it's going on 2 hours of streaming. Splat. Was I? Oh, that's just wooden partitions. I can build those. I was gonna say, was I not just making those? Sure, I'll take a small narrow rug. Ooh, recipe. I don't even hesitate to buy recipes. Well, I bought so much stuff lately, my coins on here are actually running low. Oh, no one's trading. Yeah, it looks very, very good during the day. Let's turn the lights off, maybe. Come on. Can't reach them from down there. That's fine. Yeah, I want to do like a big harbor marina build down here. Like terrace it up and make some shops around it. I think I want to get rid of a good chunk of this cave, level everything down here, and oh, Kyogre's here. Sure, make it rain. I feel like they wanted Kyogre to do more, just like didn't get there with it. He just comes and sits in one spot and sometimes makes it rain. Oh yeah, but before he interrupted, I was saying that I want to level part of that cave and make this all beach. And I actually figured out that you can go pretty far over this way before it tells you you're at the border of the map. Quite a bit past where it kicks you to Pallet Town. See, that's like if you walk on the bicycle road here, like once you get past there, it's like you need to go to Pallet Town now. But out here in the water, it goes out quite a bit farther. So why am I sinking? Okay. So my thoughts are that I might even like extend the beach out into this way and just really get some more land that way. Again, though, I have my suspicions that building this way, eventually we're going to knock up against some sort of limits in this game. Whether that's like simultaneous assets loaded on a map, whether that is total assets placed on a map, whether it's individual things that start getting counted per piece. Who knows? But I want to discover those things. So we'll see if we ever get as far as expanding the harbor. Well, that's something I thought would be cool. All right, let's see what's for sale inside the Poke Centers, and then go do a Dream Island, and then I think I can probably call that a stream for the night and feel pretty good about it. And that might get us to 4 o'clock or so, which is when how long I was saying I would stream for. No, 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 and no. All right, thank you, Armor Rouge, but none of that fancies me. Oh, I just built this Pokemart. I guess I have that to check for items now, too. Oh, I do want a photo frame. Again, it's so silly that you can just trade bulk rock for all this stuff. Yep, please take that cliff rock off my hands that I was just going to abandon on a cloud island. The Pokemart is worth building just because of the fact that it has this wall-mounted table in it that you can then either steal or take a picture of in 3D print. Alright, the only other place I have a Poke Center set up is Bleak Beach. Right. Love when they say they get a good trade and it's just ground blocks. I just dump all of the worst stuff with them. I have noticed my load times increased quite significantly as I've been building, especially when we load back into Withered Wastelands. So yeah, I've really done like no building here, but I have cleaned the place up pretty good and started working on environmental level. Just start to hack away at the PC unlocks. Oh, of course, you have a C-dot lamp today. I will take another slowpoke rug. I'm curious about how many rugs and posters there are in the game. 'Cause I haven't found very many, but I have found a few. And they've been quite seemingly rare. So I think there may be a lot, they're just hard to come by, which would be nice, because it would be cool if there was some harder to get items that give a reason to keep playing this game for a long time. I know you can just go to like Cloud Islands and photograph other people's stuff and whatnot, but that feels a little cheap. They're already very generous in giving us a 3D printer at all. So I don't think that I need to go off to other players' islands to copy their items. Although the only berry tree that I haven't come across seeds for is the Rost berry, so I might do that just to get Rost trees going on the island. Oops. All right. The only thing that sucks about putting all the plushes inside for this toy store is that Drifloon can't actually land in there, so I have to pick up whichever one I want and set it out here and use it. But that's also like hardly an issue. Still a pretty convenient way to use them all. Yep, let's go to Dream Island, Drifloon. I will probably stream about this same time again tomorrow. I'll get going a little earlier. I'll try and hop back on at about midnight Central Time tomorrow. It's closer to 1 when I hopped on today. I think this kind of midnight to 4 a.m. stream kind of works well for me. Seems like there's a handful of other oddballs up at this hour too. What I've seen too, it's a little easier to break through the algorithm this late at night too. I know I've only got a couple of you guys viewing tonight, but I appreciate it so much. Sometimes I'm streaming to no one. Sometimes get lucky and get 15, 20 viewers at a time. But sometimes it's literally no one. So you guys that were hanging out here tonight through this whole stream, like, thank you so much. It is awesome having viewers and a little bit of back and forth. I don't have a problem just talking to myself streaming, but that gets hard. I leveled a whole one of these houses earlier. They actually come with like lots of really good materials. Oops. All right, I can get pink robust flowers all over the place, but the blue ones are pretty scarce, so I always make sure to grab them. I'm always short on stone. I mean, you've seen my town. It's pretty easy to tell why I'm short on stone. But I know the fossil Pokemon litter it, but I have not managed to complete any of the fossils yet, except for the ones that don't litter, the single piece fossils. Alright, I'll take those doors. I just finally got the window recipe, so I don't need to feed every single window I come across. Early in the game, trying to finish house builds, it's like, god damn, can I find a window, please? A pop art table. I think that's only the second one of those I've found. I also love that these buildings spawn with all these planters up here. That's because planters over time use a whole bunch of materials. I think it's only like brick and wood maybe, but still, that's a constant drain on brick. And here once you start rolling this Dream Island, and it always has this building for the most part, yeah, I was happy today finding a couple of fossil pieces actually that got me closer. And I see other people that just have like all the fossil Pokemon and haven't even been time traveling. I'm just like, that's way better RNG than I'm getting. Traffic cone. It's been a while since I found a cool item in a Pokeball. I'm starting to get the feeling that I might have found most of the basic items in the game. And that it's just like, like the large artifacts and some of the rarer finds that I've still yet to find. Plus, I haven't even started working on Pallet Town yet, and I think the highest level that any of my other towns' environmentals are besides the first one is 5. So I know there's a lot of PC unlocks still. But that's good that mysterious slates don't repeat. If they did, that might be like unfinishable. Lazy photo album scrolling. Tablet and paper party cups. I have that stuff. I just unlocked the flying on this game, or the gliding with Dragonite yesterday. As such a damn game changer. Like flying around all over the place in this game just rules. It's something I've actually been really happy with the last several Pokemon games. Is just such a focus on fun traversal. Double streetlight. I could always use more of them. Alright, check our underground area, head back home and take one more good look at things to leave on something visually interesting. I need to I usually stream over on Twitch, but I've decided to switch over to YouTube more lately because I like what I've seen from the people over here a lot more versus Twitch. But I need to figure out how to do raids and stuff like that for when I sign off. I know it's not a huge deal with only like 2 concurrent viewers here right now, but I'll tell you guys that if I was raiding another channel, there's another Pokopia streamer I've been watching like every night this week. He streams late at night about the same time as me. This channel name is Beacon of Nick. Very big streamer. I mean, he's got like 37,000 subscribers or something. But great vibe, great build. So if you're looking to go someplace after I log off of here tonight and you're still wanting to watch somebody stream Pokopia, I imagine he'll probably still be going for another few hours because he goes even later than I do with the streams. So check him out. Beacon of Nick. Great build, great guy. I've had fun hanging out over on his channel lately. Trying to think if there's any other last little part of the build that I haven't showed off yet. Some stupid bug flying around my room. I guess I didn't really show off the other house here. This one we did, but the one behind it, I'm pretty happy with the layout of it. It's not fully decorated yet. It's just got some stuff in there to be able to move Pokemon in. But basically like little partition, and then like because the side door is elevated, it's got like that area there, but then that also serves as the stairs to get up to here. Just gives us a nice big room here that opens up onto the deck. And then again, little elevated platform to exit onto here. I'm having a lot of fun building these like split level houses that are like into the side of cliffs and things like that. Yeah, I always like to watch streamers when I'm also playing the game they're playing. That's when I find it's best. And I think that this game has a lot of legs too, which is one reason that I'm gonna keep streaming it. All right, yeah, I think that that's a good stopping place for tonight. 2-hour stream and all we did was cover a bridge. But that's kind of what it takes to do this level of detail. I had a lot of fun. A lot of fun on this stream tonight. This is one of my more fun streams I've had in a minute. Part of that's probably the game, but also I like hanging out with you guys here watching me tonight. If you're not subscribers already, please subscribe to my channel. It doesn't hurt my feelings if you don't, but that's the #1 biggest thing to help a super small channel like me grow. But anyways, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow night. More of the same. So thank you so much.